Greetings, you beautiful souls. Welcome to the official Master Force Coach podcast. I'm Mushim Suit, your guide to this transformative journey. At Master Force International, we believe that greatness resides within each and every one of us, waiting to be unleashed. Whether you're a seasoned leader, an aspiring entrepreneur, or simply seeking to elevate your life, this podcast is your sanctuary for inspiration, motivation, and actionable insights. Join us every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern as we dive deep into the art and science of leadership, personal growth, and the power of the human spirit. Each week, we'll explore a new theme, from mastering the art of communication to cultivating resilience in times of adversity. Alongside special guests and Master Force coaches, trailblazers, visionaries, and thought leaders, we'll uncover the secrets to unlocking your spiritual, personal, and professional success. Thank you for being here, and remember, we are ascending.
Hello, weather lovers and lovettes. It's your cosmic weather for the week of April 21st, 2024 with Mother Mecca. So let's get started. And each week I always start with the destiny card for today, which is April 21st. Happy Sunday. We are moving right along. We're going to blink and April is going to be over. Now, today's destiny card is the King of Club. So that's the highest card in the suit of knowledge. It's mastery and success in the communications field. Leadership positions, make sure if you are in a leadership position that you take it and you take it by its horns and you keep on going. Now, also, every king has a kingdom. So what are you doing to make sure that you are being this king in your kingdom and you are taking care of kingdom business? Now, you are highly intuitive. You're going to feel some highly intuitive energy going on this day, and that's okay. Go deeper into it. All right. And then a king of club will never compromise integrity or inner truth. So when things are coming up and coming at you, do not forget to stand strong on your integrity. Stand strong on the inner truth. It is some things that we have to say to some people because this is the time for communication. So it's some things that we're going to have to say to some people. They may not want to necessarily hear it, but you cannot compromise your integrity or that inner truth. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the moon phase of today, April 21st, and it's the waxing gibbous. Now, we go again with communication. So all of this, people do not understand how the universe and how these things play a part in our lives, how it all mesh and go together. We are not one without the universe, and we are on this planet. So all of these things matter to us. I want you guys to start really understanding that. So this waxing gibbous again gives a big, heavy strength in communication. You're going to share the information that was revealed during the full moon phase, that was revealed to you in the full moon phase. Okay. And so what you want to do with that information, you want to connect with the community and solidify some plans. And it's okay to allow others to support you in these communications that you know, and that these things that has been revealed to you when that full moon was in. Okay. So it's still going on. That energy, yeah, it's like a 3-day window, But because we continue to understand the moon phases, and one of them, each phase, it's a cycle. It keeps going on. Some people say, okay, I do full moon, and then we stop. And I found out that all the phases of the moon is very important. Now, we have the sun. Bye-bye, Aries. Bye-bye. Well, Aries left us on the 19th, but since it's the 21st, and I didn't say that last week, we want to send our farewell off to the Aries and get out of that Aries space, out of our head space. Now we're going to be able to ground with some of this Taurus energy. So Taurus began on the 19th, like I was saying, and that's leading us grounded and stable energy. And guess what? We're going to be able to manifest abundance from this grounding energy. So what I want you to do is prioritize some self-care practices that nourish the body, mind, and soul. See, you guys think abundance is just money. If our bodies are not taken care of, if we do not take care of ourselves, that money is going to be in the bank. Okay. Abundance is just not about finances. It's about us. I have one of the best immune systems ever. When people are sick, I am not sick. The whole job, all the students be sick. And Miss Eves, come in strong and help other people build that immune system, because I make sure that I do that. So now, don't be tripping on everybody that like to be out and about, because invites are going to slow down. Invites will be slowing down because remember, it is time to ground yourselves. It is time to do some more self-care practices. It is time for you to do some things that is going to help your emotional and physical well-being. So take those moments of non-invites to take care of yourself. Spend time in nature. That's my favorite thing to do. Like, I have to do that. I'm in my mode. I was sitting in my car today. I just was able to embrace everything that was going on in nature. You know, when it's a little raining or something in a forecast coming over, I still be out in it because I sit in shelter in my car. I have to do that. It makes me feel so much better. That's the grounding that I do. Over this past weekend also, I was able to ground. I put my feet, I went to the beach. It was so beautiful. And it actually wasn't the beach, but it was just like but water is there out in Milwaukee. And I put my feet in the grass. I could feel some dirt, and I was able to just ground there. So I'm always kind of like a week or two before, but it's because I really get in tune with what's going on in the universe. Now, other than nature, you got to enjoy some nourishing meals. You got to stop the fat back and pork and the beef and all of that. You have to clear your body from those things. Sometimes you need to do a cleanse. Okay. So you need some nourishing meals that's going to stick to you and make you feel good and make you feel excited about what's going on in your life. You know, food does play a part in how we feel. We think that, you know, you're feeling sluggish, you're feeling all these things because you're putting bad foods into your body. So you also need to engage in some relaxation. We are runners. I am a mom that is a runner. I am a teacher that is a runner. I am a grandmother that is a runner. But even my grandkids knows my boundaries. And when they say, Granny, I want you to come play. Granny cannot play today. Granny's going to come over on Thursday, okay? That's what I tell them, and they understand that. And the baby is actually not even 2 years old. He say, okay, Granny. And I say, see you Thursday. He say, see you Thursday. And that also helps them know the days of the week. Okay. So you want to also do some meditation and massage. Now, I do energy rubs, which is very, 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 very similar, but I'm giving you the Reiki energy from God. And it's just, and people say, you don't even be pressing me, but it feels so good. It's better than any massage I ever had. And that's because I'm doing this from a spiritual point from God. So you want to do some meditation, and you want to come in, do some cleansing, and do some things with Reiki masters and people that just understand how to heal the body without all that deep pressing. Okay, guess what? Uranus is in Taurus, And it's gonna be, it's gonna be in Taurus until April 25th, 26th. When I was doing some research about, trying to find out what I wanted to talk about this week, I'm like, it really nothing was hidden for this. It wasn't hidden alone. I kept trying to get this day, get these weeks. And it was like, baby, we are in some cycles, honey. Let's talk about that so people can really, truly understand that this thing ain't just no everyday thing. You can be in a cycle. So you are going to be expressing yourself in more original. Remember about this communication, it was telling you to be authentic. It wasn't that word, but when you don't compromise your integrity and you have that inner truth, that's authentic. Okay. So you're going to have to make sure that it is original, unconventional ways of expressing yourself. You cannot just open up a book, or you cannot just stick to some other people were talking about that I was watching when I was doing some research about how our programming has been. We cannot remain in program form. We cannot do that. That's why I have stepped out of all religion at all. It's like, because when we do that, we put ourselves in a box. So I believe in spiritual. I believe in the Most High, all of that. But I cannot be in a box of this religion. Oh, you got to do this. You got to do that. You got to come on this day. No. So let's step away from that. These experiences that you're going to do, expressing yourself in original ways, unconventional ways, is going to bring greater freedom and spontaneity to you. So you're going to be able to just be spontaneous and say, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to go travel. I want to take a drive. I will take a 2-hour drive in a minute. Okay. And again, like I was saying, this is a 7-year cycle, and it's going to challenge you to get off the beating path. As you can see this week, I am slowing it down. I'm not speaking. I'm not going through the slides as fast because we are in Taurus season. It is time to slow it down and really, really get out of our comfort zones and be able to explore alternative approaches in the way that we are living. People be like, oh, I can't believe you fall asleep in your car. That is the best sleep that I get. And this is my time for it. I'm like, I literally want to get an RV because that's how much I like to sleep outside. Yay, let's clap right here. Let's say bye-bye to Mercury. Mercury retrograde has been retrograding with my computer. So I'm having like really, really big issues with my computers. So it's okay. So we're going to say bye-bye to Mercury retrograde. Definitely it should be all the way out of here by 425. Okay. Oh, now this says 425-26 because I left that on from my other slide. But no, it's 24. So you still have enough time though for some home repairs, because remember, this is just the 21st. So we have the cast. You can't forget about the cast over, and some of the energy that lasts. Don't forget to read. Oh, see, you still have enough time for home repairs. Anything with the is reading. Okay. So reevaluate, readjust, reflect, and redo if need be. Okay, and that leads me right to the health tip of the week. I'm redoing that because I want you to truly, for real, understand how chaga mushrooms, if you're going to eat them or you're going to drink them in a tea or infuse them, whatever you're going to do, you need to do that. This is the time to strengthen your immune system, especially because we're slowing it down in Taurus. Okay, it's going to help lower the blood sugar and cholesterol levels, support your digestive health, and protect against cancer. We are eating all these things that is causing cancer. It is in that mucus that you're drinking. And you say, oh, I don't drink milk, but do you eat ice cream that has dairy in it? Those are the things that you got to really realize and pull out of. Oh, I just can't give up cheese. Okay, well, give up your life. That's how serious that I feel it is about, continuing to eat those things that we know that do not serve us. It makes us tired. So, lovers and lovettes, weather lovers and lovers, I am drawing near on my time. I want to thank everybody that came out yesterday and celebrated with me on 420 and got naturally high without marijuana or anything like that. And so I want to thank you, all my lovers and lovettes that came out to support. So, how to contact Mother Mecca, okay? You can text me at 708-253-8795. You can catch me on Facebook as Mecca C. Eves and TikTok as Mother Mecca 115. I'm on Instagram too as Mother Mecca 115. Again, thank you for your time, lovers and lovettes. I will see you again next week. Peace, love, and don't forget, I love you like no other because we're all individually different and you're individually you.
Welcome to another episode of the Master Force Coaches podcast. We are so excited about this series. I hope you've been following us because we've been listening to some wonderful book reviews. And this week we have another great one, The Art of War, with one of my favorite life coaches and my niece, A.Alanda Gregory. And shout out to Mother Mecca on that weather report. But we want to go ahead and get deep into this. A.Alanda, why don't you come on in and introduce yourself and tell us all about the art of war?
Hey, thanks for having me here. I'm A.Alanda Gregory, and yes, she told you I am an executive coach and niece. We've been, oh my God, we travel lifetimes together, but I
Oh,
am
yes.
totally grateful to be a part of this because I've seen so many transformations of Master Force, and having this podcast is so amazing, right? And I get excited to talk about this book mainly because of who I am. And I've always been taught strategy. My mother, as a little girl, taught me strategy games. I never understood it, didn't like it because I wanted to play games like everybody else was playing. Being the only child to know how to play poker and game of life, the real game of life, right?
Right.
And chess. It was not too many children around me that wanted to play these games. I was always around adults, but I learned strategy, and it piqued my interest as a curious little girl. So about me, I'm a creative entrepreneur. And what I do is help other entrepreneurs as well as in my coaching. So I incorporate coaching in the business model, right? So other creatives who don't use a lot of their right brain, I am able to help them incorporate that creativity into how you would use this in every day, right? How important is it for you to know your business, the website? Are you registered? Is your money going in the right place? Are you still registered, right? Is what's going on, right? Is what's going on in your state? Is it perpetual? Do you have to file, do you have to renew it? I give those type of those insights as well as help with back office support. But I'm also a lot of other things, right? I do a lot of creative support for creative entrepreneurs. I'm married, been married 10 years.
Yeah.
Second go around. I have 5 children, not with the second one, but the first was the husband, right? The ex-husband. I have 5 grown children, all
Grown,
grown,
grown.
very grown. I have one daughter, have I can't remember how many. I think it's 8 kids. She she
Yes.
she uh I have, so I'm a grandmother. My second daughter has, so I'm a grandmother of close to 10 kids.
Yeah.
And then I thought about how old my oldest grandson is. He's 16. I'm like, oh my God, I could be I could
Wow.
be a great grandmother before I'm 60. Please don't do this to me. Okay, anyway, vain. But this is who I am. This is what I do. I've been in Dubuque, Iowa for as long as I've been married. And we're both from Chicago. My husband has a recording studio here. And I just love helping people. And this is why I got into what I've gotten into, because a lot of people do not think like this. And it's a strategy to do
Yeah,
what I'm doing.
I love how you just talked about the left brain and the right brain, and most people don't really get that there is a way for us to use the whole brain,
Mm,
which is a beautiful connection to our genius factor. And
yes.
the work that we teach at Masterforce. How do you combine that energy of creativity with logic and reasoning and then still have fun in life?
Yes. I am mastering that now, right? I
Yes,
am learning that because of the work we do at Masterforce.
yes,
I worked in corporate all my life, right? That's all I knew. And art is extra, right?
yes.
So art is extra. That's something you do on the side. You don't get paid for that. That's what we were taught. But my
That's what
mother
we
got paid
taught.
for it. But she
Mhm.
got paid for it, right? But she also had to go into the business side because you had the book, but I remember her having an Art of War. She had this book and
Yeah,
tried to, I guess, me being a kid, I didn't want to read this. I'm like, whatever. But you all having this book and you having it as I got older reminded me like, oh my God, wonder where she get this book from, right?
I probably got it from her.
Yeah. So it's so amazing to have this. And when I saw the art of war, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's an art to everything. And so it's
Mm.
strategy. A strategy is still creative thinking, and people don't realize that. So this is why I'm so excited about discussing this book because anything that's even though it's business and right brain and you looking at numbers, it's still right brain still teach you to look at the facts.
Mhm.
Right?
Oh
You
yeah,
look at this.
yeah.
And strategy is teaching you how to creatively look at what you're dealing with, but how can you bend and mold, you know what I mean? How can you make these facts work for you and in war or anywhere, boardroom, whatever you got, even if you're in sports, this can still a lot of these strategies can still apply.
That is wonderful. So now you then were inspired to read this book because of the strategy, the
Mm-hmm.
thinking, the way that your mom was teaching you how to think. But then what actually made you really pick up the book? Because you didn't pick up the book as a child when you saw this.
No,
You
no.
did this later in life. Was there something that happened that made you think, I really need to read this now and see
Um,
what it does? Right.
yes. Well, I'm a two of spade, right? Is that right? My wait, is it
Yes,
two of
ma'am.
spade? Yeah. So, and being in Destiny cards, I'm a friendship card.
Yes.
I'm always making friends. I want to make friends. I want everybody to get along. But that doesn't work for everyone.
No, it doesn't.
I had to learn how to my mouth could not outmaneuver bullies, but I had to learn how to outthink them without trying to always fight them. So no, I didn't pick up the book then. And even though she wanted me to read it, she was reading it. I wasn't interested because to me I'm a kid. But when I got older, it took me back because she was teaching me strategy, and I had to learn how to outmaneuver people that were not my friend, right? And then I started learning how to do it when I started working because I remember this book reappearing somehow. I think somebody at work. So when you actually when I came to you, 2011, 2010, and you had the book, I was excited because I'm like, I got to read this book. I got to, and I keep it in
Mm.
my audio book. I keep a PDF file of it. I have to go back and take a look because I have always had these strategies and never knew how it aligned with war, when it says the art of war. And I I particularly like it not just because it taught me how to fight. Like I enjoy fighting. That's what I want you all to know that I used to. However, it still
Yeah, you
taught
got
me,
that from your grandma.
I know, right? Um, and like, yeah, I'll go, but that's not always the right choice. And it reminds you of how the world moves around us. And a lot of people don't even realize how they are part of this war. And we can maneuver around some of these if you just sit and strategize. So it takes a lot of thinking. It takes a great deal of discipline, and you can't everybody. And so to learn that everybody's not your friend, it's not even about going to be suspicious of people around you. It is about how do you show up and how do you receive other people not being where you are. So it's a lot of layers into this.
Yeah, I like that it teaches about so before you get to strategy, you literally have to observe
Mhm.
You literally have to see and be willing to look. I mean, one of the things that I know when I walk into a place, the first thing I do is, where is the other exit? Where is my back sitting? I mean, all of that is just strategically sitting in a way that if something happens, you know how to get out and you can see what's coming to you. So observing, right? And you have to observe to create that strategy, right? And many of us don't think like that. Why? Because we just taught to just kind of do. But yeah, part of our work is to observe our environment.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? Actually, it's in us, especially Black and brown people. That's If you go down a list, they have this funny list that they do on TikTok, and they talk about if you know you Black, and one is sitting near the exit, knowing where the exits are. Don't sit with your back to the door.
Yeah.
That is something that we were taught without even realize that's a strategy.
That's a strategy.
You don't even know. If you sense that something is about to happen, go out the door. Right. And they have all these active shooter training. And I've learned when I stand I worked in a public place, anybody that looks suspicious, I'm already grabbing my purse. I'm in my mind, I'm grabbing my purse, I'm going out the back door. I ain't about to, I'm sorry, but if I tell you to come with me and you don't come with me, I'm not going to drag you. I'm leaving.
Oh my goodness. It's out.
You see me leaving, follow me. Right. And so I think that is something in us. It's inherently in us because we did not have access, in the slavery or years ago when they took us from our country. We didn't have these books. We had to depend on our intuition. Right. We had to outmaneuver and outthink people. So we actually have this. A lot of folks don't even realize we have this in us already. We just have to get back into our internal GPS to maneuver like that.
And trust our instincts, because that really has been taken out because we keep looking outside trying to get answers when they're actually in us. That's really great, A.Alanda. That's really, really great. Yeah. So now tell me, what are 3 truths that you took away from this book that really made a difference for you?
Laying plans. That's in that's the very first chapter. That's what gets me. You lay your plans. And Sun Tzu, is that what I'm saying that right? Explains the importance of being prepared. So one of the main things, you always prepare, and see, people think being suspicious is like you're always looking for somebody to get you. No, you be prepared. And it's like I said, we are internal GPS. Be prepared. And don't, not let your guard down, but lay out your plans. Anything you want to do in business, whatever, you look at what it costs, and not just money, but what is it going to take? Is it, like you always say, that's not good use of my time. Is it going to cost you time, extra money, extra energy? What is it? So you lay your plans out and you look at how this going to impact you, right? So that is one of the truths to me that really made me, because we're so much in survival mode, we don't plan anything, right? We don't plan anything. So when we just like fight or flight, we talked about this last week, everybody in fight or flight, you have to have a plan, because even if they're even in a time of fire, like you said, you check the exit soon you walk in the door. You're looking at certain places because something happens. You want to make sure that you have a plan to get out, right? So we say something just that basic, but if you incorporate this in business, at least in business and personal life, even if getting into a relationship, what is your ultimate plan?
Yes, that is, I've been talking to people recently about that, because people keep saying, well, the cost of living is going up. I say, it's actually having us realize that we need several streams of income. And we've heard that over and over and over again. So why is it that we keep thinking that we're supposed to get an increase at work when we can actually create several other streams of income?
Yes. Absolutely.
There's no reason why we can't start a business or a YouTube channel or TikTok, and it's not about being famous or millionaires or billionaires, but just so you can plan a vacation. Oh, this is my vacation job right here.
Right. And you know what? We grew up that way. I grew up seeing my mom work. She worked in the house. She made dresses. She did hair. You
Yes,
know, did
yes.
everything to make ends meet because of that's what she liked doing it. And people paid her for making a bed set, making drapes. That was
Mm,
her biggest thing, making drapes or decorating somebody's house. So seeing that, that's still you need several. I mean, it's never
skill
gone
set.
away.
That's right. Did I ever tell you about that time that your grandmother made she she liked to sew too, right? And she made this beautiful, I'll never forget, it was so pretty. It was brown, gold, green, orange, and it was a flowered cover for the couch, right? Just
Okay.
really pretty. And so the extra the extra material that was left, her two daughters made culottes in midriffs, right?
No, I didn't.
So, so she came into the house and they were sitting on the couch, and she went to sit on the couch, and one of them was sitting on the couch. You see, what? She didn't see, she didn't see that because
That is what she
it
thought the
was
couch was
much
getting up.
funnier. I was a little kid watching this, thinking, you don't see, but you know how you're doing something and you're not thinking, and you just see what's in front of you. You know that's a couch, and they have on the same colors, and she went to sit. But that whole thing about making stuff, that's what she was about too, so
Yeah.
yes.
And that we got away from that because we have gotten into a system of a dependency, right? We
Ooh,
depend. We
codependency
depend.
even.
Everything has been taken. Our essence have been like no lullabied away from us, right?
Oh
You
yeah.
know, and we have even when the migration happened from down south, you come up, you leave the south, come up north, they give you these jobs, they take them away. You in a inner city ghetto, you don't really have extra, any type of your creativity is all gone because now you're in survival mode. Who's thinking about creating in survival
You
mode when
know
you
what? And
you know
Alanda, that's so cool, because if our community would get that we're at war, and we need to be more strategic about how we sit in this war, and
Mhm.
thinking that somebody else is going to create the out for us, because they're not,
Right.
because they themselves are at war, and most of the time they think they're at war with us,
Right.
and we're not even fighting.
We're not even fighting. Not even. We keep siding with the colonel. We like chickens. We keep siding with the colonel. He eventually gonna eat. He gonna eventually fry you. So why you keep siding? We're like, oh, we're gonna vote for this. We're gonna vote for Colonel. Next, we're gonna vote for the Chick-fil-A man. You know what I'm saying? It's all. It's like, when do you get out of this? Because none of these people are your friend. They're not gonna save you, and we have been conditioned to be saved.
Yeah.
Therefore, here we are. We're not planning. We don't have plans. And the ones that do plan, the the mainstream, I would say mainstream black and brown or poor, even poor people, they're not looking at the people they plan. They see them as, they stole, or
They
they
see
got
them more as a
favor.
threat in the enemy. They don't even want
Yeah,
to support
that's
that person
that's
getting out of that, because yeah,
that
you
part.
right. Mm-hmm.
That part. So so in essence, well, with the laying of plans, you have to really be very clear. And this is why, when I see people protest, I'm like, okay, after you protest, then
Then
what?
what?
Then what? You know, because one of the next
You're gonna
the
be so tired,
exactly.
worn
And
out, and now you done burnt up your whole house. Where
right.
you gonna sleep?
Your stores, all everything. And so that was the one, even though this is not my next point, but the waging war is the next chapter, because you laying up plans, you don't even know how to wage war, and now you stuck at the plans. Like, okay, we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
protest. They didn't give you what you wanted. They only gave you, I know it's a little bit just so you can shut up. You can't even wage war because you're tired, your stuff burned down.
Yep.
Everybody's afraid now because of retaliation. So no, you can't even go. You know what? They need an art of war for black people. Okay, so
Oh, there's a book. Yeah,
we need one of these books so
we
we
got
can.
that. That's a book. Okay, right.
That's a book, right? So when you look at okay, so that was one, laying the plans. One of the next one, the next one that stood out for me was energy. And that's the chapter 5 of this book. When dealing with troops, a group of people should be unified into a single force. So that's back to what I'm saying about planning, right? You have to get your people, like when you doing work, if you know, working, you own a business, you're starting a project, even kids, you in school, you have to understand that, you know, when you get a good team together, you have to not take things for granted, right? You have to understand, come with a clear direction that this is what we want to do. We have to be in a space of, I'm not taking from you and you're not taking from me. The ultimate goal is doing this together. And this is one of the things that our community do not, again, survival mode. Everybody's in survival mode. You're not going to think about being in a position. So like, okay, if they come and, you know, if we happen to, we need money, right? Our community is going to get shut down. There's nowhere to get food because something has happened. What are we going to do? Do you have a community garden? Who in the neighborhood can go get the food and bring it back? You know, these are the type of things that we don't think of. And so for me, all of these layers of my experience put me in another space to see life from a different lens, right? I got out of victim because you can't, and that's another thing, you can't be a victim with strategy. Victims don't know how to strategize.
You're actually going to choose either you're going to be a victim or you're going to be responsible. That's the choice. It's not even about being a victor. It's about being responsible. Like, I'm going to take responsibility for creating the next steps.
Yes.
And next steps means laying a plan and having a vision to unify everybody. You know, then that's what I'm going to be responsible for, as compared to, oh, woe is me, somebody help.
Yep. And now I understand why that movie, the series, The Walking Dead, I don't like that zombie stuff, but after looking at, you know, following blogs and things like that, it was all about strategy. It was all about how do we all come together to fight this imminent threat? It's a threat. It's something that's going on. It's taking all of us. And guess who ended up getting taken? The victims, right? The ones that were not trying to stay with each other. You know, they thought they could have a better plan and not sticking with the core group that can fight through this, right? People, you know, fell victim to being tired, being weary, you know, not trusting anymore. So so even though I didn't like the series, it was a very good, how can I put it? It was a good display. It was about human and how our experience is when we are in survival or we're not trusting or not working together. And that is one of the biggest things of when me having this book. At first, it was personal for me, right? I'm like, how can I navigate through this? Like, how can I not be taken advantage of again? How can I apply this in my relationships? Because I am tired of people taking advantage. No, it wasn't. And then I got into that victim thing because it's not about that. It is about how am I going to share my gifts and navigate through all of the mess I've been through, but knowing that somebody else need what I'm doing, and they need, right,
so
and that's
it. Yes,
and that's how I got, because when I started coaching, when me and you had talked, my whole thing was I want to be a voice for celebrities, right? Michael Jackson didn't have to do that, but not realizing it was bigger than me. I wasn't going to be able to go in. I can't go in and just fix some of this stuff these celebrities are facing, and especially under what I was going through, there was no way I can walk into that, because the stuff that we see now, I couldn't walk the mess I was in. I could not have gone and helped nobody, and the work
have to take care of yourself first. Yes.
And when you had me do this work, and I did not want to see the mirror. The mirror was like, what? I don't want to do that. I don't want what? So you can't have a strategy if you're not willing to look at yourself and look at what your strengths and weaknesses are. And that's weak points and strong. And that's part of, that's my third one. Weak points and strong. Look like an easy target to make enemies assume an easy victory. So everything don't have to be said. You don't got to go toe to toe with anybody. People want to argue with you, let them, because that's not who you show up as. Like you said, observe. You're going to know the people that are attached to you, how they want to deal with you, right?
Yeah.
Or how they perceive you. What anybody perception of you have nothing to do with you. You show up in your power.
Mm.
Whatever way how other people see you, that have nothing to do with you, because you know you are in certain spaces as not a gift, but you are a gift or a service to other people. How can I be of service? How can I use what I know? No, not just that. I want to have fun as well. Like if I go party, I don't want to have to worry about somebody running in and doing anything. So all of these different aspects of who we have to know our strengths and weaknesses and
Yes.
not play down our strengths to make somebody else weakness supersede our strength, because somebody may want to be the big cheese in the room. Okay, go ahead and let them do it. But while they're not protected, they will be a target. You get what I'm saying? So it's hard to navigate around that, but you also have to use wisdom. And when you are sorting out people that are for you and not for you, you have to really just let folks under whatever they perceive, whatever,
No
and they say,
defending yourself, no trying to clear it up, no
right.
arguing about it. If that's what you see, that literally tells me who you are.
Yes. And you know what the biggest enemy, and when you're in relationships, in our relationships, money.
Mm.
It's not even love, because I am 100% clear that love is lacks in a lot of people, because we have not really been taught the core of love. It's
Mm.
different ways to love. It's different. um I love, the love language book. It's different ways to love people, but money is actually, if I didn't have to be with this person, I wouldn't be with them. Love wouldn't even keep you with this person. You're kind of
Oh,
following
so
me?
you're saying people with people because of money.
Right. Even
But,
jobs, even your
oh,
job. You don't
yes.
even love what you do because you need this job. You rather be at home and doing what your best friend or a good friend is doing. They work for themselves and making the money, and you're mad because you have to get up and go to work
Because you hate your job.
because you hate your job, and you don't even realize that's not a strategy. When you are somewhere feeling that you are stuck, you don't have a strategy. And that's basically why I love this book, because it makes you think strategy. Now, there is a business version of Art of War. There's
There's a woman's version too.
yes,
Yeah.
and a woman's version. Because it was so funny. I was talking about this book, and being I'm in a predominantly white town, and we was having a book discussion online several years ago here. And someone said, "What's your favorite book?" I said, "Well, I love The Art of War." This woman came and said, "Well, you should not do that. There's a book called Art of Love. You should read that." I said, "No, I just told you what book I like. I
Right.
like The Art of War."
Right.
He's like, "But that's so abrasive. You don't want to do that." You're not hearing what I'm saying. I said, I love The Art of War. It teaches strategy. Love can still be a part of that. I'm saying, I'm not taking away the fact of that book, but why are you suggesting I read The Art of War? I mean, The Art of Love. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of things. And I knew what she was getting at, because everybody else was agreeing with it. Like, oh, yeah, it's a good book. But she said, well, you shouldn't read that book. You should read The Art of Love. Why?
Mm.
I'm
And
like,
you
oh,
know what that is? It really is because, well, for one thing, we're not taught that we have both yin and yang within us, and it's okay for us to know both aspects of ourselves.
yes,
And part of our masculine energy is being able to take care of ourselves.
yes.
You know.
And you know why she said that? Because I didn't get to the part why she said that. She
Oh.
said Black women are already seen as angry. Why would you want to read The Art of War? Okay. Apparently you haven't read the book, but okay,
Because the anger is not part of that book. As a matter of
not at
fact,
all.
if you're angry, you will probably lose, according to that book.
You will, because there's more. It's so many other layers to this. It
Yeah.
tells you about not being emotional, because soon as you react out of fear and
Mm-hmm.
anger, you can lose the battle,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
and you can use it as an advantage, because the person that in the book with the war, they are worn out and angry, and the cost of war drive up the cost of living. This is why America is in the predicament. And let me just drop this out here to y'all. Americans know about the book, The Art of War. After they got whipped in Korea, was it Korea or the last part of the Second War? They don't talk about it. It was the Second World War. When they went to this island in Japan, a lot of the army, a lot of the troops were destroyed. You know why? Because they studied the art of war. Vietnam, the art of war. When they figured out, and this is something that a vet told me, when they figured out that the Japanese and Koreans, and this book is a staple in Asia, right? In these countries.
Teach it. Absolutely.
And when America figured out after the Vietnam War, when they realized they kept getting their behinds handed to them, they start implementing this, and it's a secret. And not that they're teaching it to their troops, the higher ups or the ones that, sergeants, whatever they are, they know about this. So they do get, but they took the parts out that, how you wear people out. Why is war, especially American wars, why is these wars so long?
Well,
Why
that's because that's a whole different.
It's a whole different thing. But in the art of war, it explains it. When you wear out your enemy's territory with you driving up the cost, it costs them more money to have a war. They're gonna run out of chariots. They're gonna run out of this. The citizens are gonna go poor because now you depleting the resources. Eventually, they're gonna surrender. So the tactic that they use, they know of this tactic. They understand. That's why the art of war now, all of a sudden, everybody's reading it. This book been around for centuries. Wow. Now it's accessible and available for everyone when this has been implemented behind the scenes. And a lot of folks don't even know that we are participating in this and not just this. It's another book. I love reading the Oppositions book because Ayn Rand, what is it? Atlas Shrugged. Paul was a politician that read it. It's like a playbook for him. And the Bible was a playbook. So we can get into all this. But what I'm saying is the art of war is a staple. It's a staple. And I wouldn't be surprised the way they're trying to ban books. This would be a book that they would try to ban, because if more of us read this book, we would and start studying. I know a lot of Black folks, they love the 48 Laws of Power. Yeah, I know. Actually, the young men. And my brother Kings, they love reading the 48 Laws of Power. If they put this book in their hand and they read it and listen to it, it would give them a perspective of where the 48 laws came from.
Yes.
It came from this book.
Yeah.
So, and it's shorter than the 48 laws, but it gives you, it's so much content in this book that I suggest everyone to read this book. Everyone to read this book.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, A.Alanda. That was wonderful.
You're so welcome.
Thank you. Now I'm going to have to go and listen to that on audio book, right?
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Wonderful.
YouTube, yep.
I am so loving this series because every week I get another perspective, of the books that I love. I get another perspective on how other people view them. So it's really
I almost thought you was gonna make me choose another one, because I'm like, she ain't gonna let me do the art of war. I mean, you said, I'm like, okay.
Listen, no, I'm not going to insist, because again, it's part of my increase too, my learning and listening to different perspectives. So
yes.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us this week, and we look forward to seeing you in our next episode. So continue to follow us, and we look forward to the next book.
Yay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.